Did you know that eliminating just 11 things can be a game changer, ready to make the shift? Marcus Aurelius, the famous Stoic philosopher, suggested them to be eliminated as soon as possible to be successful in life. Let's check them out one by one. On number 11 is justifying yourself to those who cause you pain. When someone hurts us, especially those we once considered close friends, it's normal to feel the urge to explain ourselves or confront them in a dramatic manner. However, Marcus Aurelius, a wise ruler and philosopher of the Stoic school, suggests that we should quietly move forward and refrain from seeking revenge or demanding apologies. The wisest decision is to protect our peace of mind by creating some distance between ourselves and those who have betrayed our trust. We aren't obligated to assist someone who has disrespected us. By staying true to ourselves and focusing on our well-being and personal growth, we can nurture our inner peace and character. The optimal response, according to Marcus Aurelius, is to be unlike those who have wronged us. On number 10 is making critical decisions and letting go of unnecessary goals. In our quest for personal growth, it's crucial to recognize when certain goals no longer align with our true purpose. Letting go of these goals is not only common, but essential to concentrate on what truly matters. However, it's vital to make these adjustments quietly and subtly to preserve the integrity of our personal journey. Broadcasting every change or decision can attract unnecessary opinions and distractions. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, reminds us that life is not short, but we lose a lot by using our time wastefully. By appreciating the power of privacy in our strategic life choices, we simplify our paths and stay true to our core values and identity. On number 9 is making critical decisions and letting go of unnecessary goals. In life, making important decisions and figuring out what really matters is like doing a tricky dance. Marcus Aurelius, a wise philosopher, has some great advice on this. Instead of getting stuck in confusion, Aurelius says it's better to make decisions with confidence. He believes, you don't need much to be happy, it's all in your mind, in how you think. Letting go of goals that don't matter much is like learning more about yourself. Aurelius suggests we should get rid of things that don't really help us, saying, it's not that our time is short, but we waste a lot of it. This idea makes us think about what we're doing and let go of things that don't really help us. Think about it. Every choice we make is like a step toward where we want to go. Aurelius says we should move forward with clear goals, saying, you don't need much to be happy. If we follow this idea, we can find strength in keeping things simple and feel free when we let go. In life's complicated journey, Aurelius's wisdom is like a guide, telling us to make important choices with a smart heart and to drop things that don't really matter. Looking through the Stoic perspective, we start a big change toward a life that feels really satisfying. On number 8 is revealing too much about the end of relationships. In the complex connections we have with others, when relationships end, it's a delicate thing. Marcus Aurelius, a smart philosopher, has good advice on how to handle it wisely. Instead of talking too much about why the relationship ended, Aurelius suggests being quiet and focusing on being a good person. He says, don't waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Just be one, even though it might feel right to share all the details of a breakup. Stoicism teaches us to be silent. According to Aurelius, real strength doesn't come from talking a lot, but from actually being the kind of person you admire. By holding back, we can avoid unnecessary emotional trouble and keep our dignity. Think about this. You don't need much to make a happy life. It's all in your mind, in how you think. Aurelius wants us to remember that our happiness comes from how we see things inside us, not from what we say outside. By being careful with our words and following the Stoic idea of being good, we make room for healing and personal growth. In relationships, being quiet can show a lot of strength. Aurelius's wisdom tells us to focus on being the best version of ourselves instead of talking too much about the past. By saying less about the end of relationships, we discover the power of keeping quiet with dignity, giving space for personal growth, and finding inner peace. On number 7 is transforming anger into action. In The Storm of Anger, Marcus Aurelius, the respected Stoic philosopher and emperor, shares a powerful idea, turning anger into a force for positive change. The consequences of anger are more serious than the causes, says Aurelius wisely, urging us to use this strong emotion for something good. Instead of letting anger take over, Stoicism teaches us to take a mindful pause. Aurelius suggests, when you wake up in the morning, think about how precious it is to be alive, to breathe, think, enjoy, and love. This reflection helps calm strong emotions, shifting from reacting in anger to thinking things through. Think about this. It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Aurelius challenges us to use our time wisely, making every moment count. Turning anger into positive action fits with the Stoic idea of focusing on things we can control. Picture anger like a strong wind. With Stoic skill, we can direct its force toward doing something good. Aurelius encourages us to take control of our emotions, changing the energy of anger into a force for making things better. In this process, anger becomes a powerful force for growth, strength, and, in the end, a way to bring about positive change. Following this Stoic wisdom, we start a journey not just to deal with anger, but to use its power for actions that have meaning and purpose. On number 6 is spreading negative opinions about others. Marcus Aurelius, the wise Stoic philosopher, warns about the danger of spreading negative opinions about others. Instead of giving in to the urge to criticize, Aurelius promotes a higher virtue, saying, "You don't need much to make a happy life. It's all in your mind, in how you think." When tempted to share unfavorable judgments, Stoicism teaches us to hold back. Aurelius encourages a shift from blaming others to focusing on improving ourselves. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice, he says, urging us to rise above the negativity around us. Think about this truth. It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Aurelius wants us to think about how precious time is and use our energy for positive things. Spreading negative opinions is a waste, taking away from the richness of our own lives. In Stoicism, the focus is on creating inner calm and virtue. By avoiding spreading negativity, we protect our peace of mind. Aurelius's timeless advice encourages us to build a positive environment where personal growth and compassion can thrive. By choosing not to share negative opinions, we not only lift ourselves up, but also contribute to a world that really needs the power of understanding and kindness. On number 5 is breaking free from the relentless pursuit of external approval. In today's noisy world of outside expectations, Marcus Aurelius, the respected Stoic philosopher, offers timeless wisdom, encouraging us to break away from the constant chase for external approval. You don't need much to make a happy life. It's all in your mind, in how you think, he says, stressing that real contentment comes from within. The yearning for approval from others can take over our lives. But Aurelius challenges us to rethink what truly makes us happy. It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it, he points out, urging us to focus on our internal feelings and find fulfillment in our own values and authenticity. Consider this deep truth. Don't waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. Aurelius encourages us to strive for personal excellence instead of constantly seeking approval from society. When we free ourselves from the chains of external expectations, we discover the liberating power of being true to ourselves. Breaking free from the need for approval is a transformative journey of self-discovery and strength. As Aurelius wisely says, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice, pushing us to rise above societal pressures and determine our worth on our own terms. In this Stoic philosophy, we find the bravery to carve our own path, liberated from the never-ending pursuit of outside approval, and embracing the richness of a life lived authentically. On number 4 is mindful use of social media. In the era of constant digital connection, where the attraction to stay plugged in is everywhere, Marcus Aurelius, the insightful Stoic philosopher, shares wisdom on using social media mindfully. You don't need much to make a happy life. It's all in your mind and how you think, he says, challenging us to navigate the digital world with purpose and self-awareness. In a sea of information and opinions, Aurelius suggests taking a thoughtful pause. It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it, he notes, encouraging us to reflect on the quality of our online interactions. Stoicism promotes being intentional, urging us to use social media for connection and enlightenment rather than mindlessly scrolling. Think about this Stoic idea. Don't waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. Applying this to our online presence, Aurelius invites us to embody the virtues we admire instead of seeking validation through digital likes. Mindful use of social media involves creating a purposeful digital identity aligned with our core values. As we navigate the vast landscapes of social media, Aurelius' wisdom encourages a sharp approach. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice, he suggests, indicating that our digital actions should reflect our character and principles. By adopting a Stoic mindset, we transform social media from a potential source of distraction into a platform for mindful connection, personal growth, and the spread of positive influence. On number 3 is embracing the concept of authentic living. In a world where people often expect certain things, Marcus Aurelius, a wise philosopher, talks about the importance of being yourself. He says, "You don't need a lot to have a happy life. It's all in your mind, in how you think." This means finding happiness by being true to who you are. Being yourself, according to Aurelius, doesn't mean doing what everyone else does or trying to make others happy. It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it, he explains. This means we should spend our time doing things that make us happy and spending time with people who make us feel good. Here's something important to remember. Don't waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. Aurelius wants us to be the kind of person we admire, instead of worrying about what everyone else thinks. Living this way, according to Stoicism, a way of thinking Aurelius follows, is like going on a journey to discover more about yourself and making choices that feel right. The best way to get back at someone who did something wrong is to be a better person than they were, Aurelius suggests. This means being true to yourself and not trying to be like someone who treated you badly. When we do this, we create our own path and follow what we believe is right. In Stoicism, being true to yourself becomes like a guiding light, leading us to a life where feeling happy inside, having a purpose, and having real joy are the most important things. Embracing this idea means building a life that shows who we are, without worrying too much about what others expect. On number 2 is striving for excellence, not perfection. Imagine you're on a journey to become better at things, like school or sports. Marcus Aurelius, a smart philosopher, has some cool advice for you. He says, "You don't need a lot to be happy. It's all in your mind and how you think." This means instead of trying to be perfect, just try your best and be happy with that. Aurelius thinks that trying to be perfect can be tricky and might make you feel stuck. It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it, he says, telling us that we should use our time doing things we enjoy and getting better at them. Stoicism, a way of thinking he follows, teaches us to be proud of the progress we make instead of worrying about being perfect. Here's a fun idea. Don't waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. When you're trying to get better, Aurelius says you should show the good qualities you like instead of talking about being perfect. This way you keep getting better at what you do. The best way to be better than someone who did something wrong is to be a better person, Aurelius wisely suggests. Choosing to be excellent instead of perfect means you don't have to worry about making mistakes and can focus on learning and being strong. Striving for excellence means trying your best and getting better at things. It's like the Stoic idea that being good and happy comes from inside you. So, on your journey to get better, enjoy the ride and feel proud of the cool progress you make. On number 1 is letting go of unrealistic expectations. In the big picture of life, Marcus Aurelius, a really smart philosopher, shares important wisdom about the freeing act of letting go of unrealistic expectations. You don't need a lot to be happy. It's all in your mind, in how you think, he says, telling us to drop the heavy burden of unrealistic ideas and find happiness within ourselves. Aurelius notices that having unrealistic expectations can make us unhappy. It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it, he thinks, saying we should use our time wisely and focus on practical and satisfying goals instead of dreaming about things that are too hard to reach. Think about this truth. Don't waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. When it comes to letting go of unrealistic expectations, Aurelius wants us to show the good qualities we like instead of arguing about perfect standards. This Stoic way of thinking celebrates the real progress we make instead of wanting everything to be perfect. The best way to be better than someone who did something wrong is to be a better person, Aurelius wisely says. Giving up unrealistic expectations is like freeing yourself. By letting go of perfect ideas, we can enjoy the unpredictability of life and be happy with what we have now. Letting go of unrealistic expectations fits with the Stoic idea of building inner strength and accepting that life can be uncertain. When we think this way, we go through life gracefully, finding joy in real experiences and connections that happen naturally. The journey becomes more special when we aren't weighed down by the heavy load of unrealistic expectations, letting us enjoy the beautiful imperfections of life.